Peace, peace, love, light, family. This is High Priestess Sister Arcola Sojak, and I'm talking a little low because I'm traveling right now, you guys, and I'm not in my space, and so I just don't want to disturb um, my family, and I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to the videos and everybody that has supported thus far, big and small. I'm appreciative. How's everybody doing tonight? I wanted to just tap in with a quick message. um, I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to um, get to my regular programming because I am actually traveling again. And I extended my stay. I went from Vegas and now I'm in Cali. So, shout out to Vegas and California and to my people in Texas. Most of you will be probably tapping in tomorrow. So, um, I just want to give thanks to the Creator, however you call the name God. I just want to give thanks. Um, I want to send peace, love, light, healing, strength to the people that will be tapped in. Anybody getting this message? Um, One of the things that has been on my mind like strongly is the relationship between male and female. It's always been this struggle, of course, with genders and stuff, but especially in the Black community, it's just reaching a space where it's almost like a hatred, and it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing when you think of all that we've had to overcome, all that we've been through, and to get to a place that we don't have any type of balance or togetherness or understanding for each other. There's a lack of love. And it's also disheartening when, we hear, people talk about how negative the Black woman is. And I get it, we can be negative, as can the Black man and humans in general. But it's just this thing where, there's women here out here working, doing the work, working on themselves. They're embracing spirituality, getting back to the root of things. And there's men also embracing spirituality and those that pretend to understand and embrace spirituality. They're coming against, fighting against the spiritualist and the spiritual woman. And it's not just in spirituality, because sometimes even in religion, a woman that, is deep into her religion is sometimes, also attacked. But I'm speaking more so of spirituality, since religion is more acceptable. It's in alignment with politics, and it's with the tradition that we've been indoctrinated into, namely Christianity, but other religions as well, that denounce spirituality, which seems kind of strange, because then what is religion, right? Just something to think about. What is religion if it doesn't have a spiritual component? And when we talk about love and we talk about spirituality and compassion and all of those energies that lean to the feminine side of things, a lot of us are attacked for being too masculine. And what people tend to forget is because we're so out of balance with these missing components on both sides, lacking in spiritual balance and understanding, lacking in love, unhealed trauma, that we tend to, we tend to find these, who we like just playing this blame game. And, so when a person is really on their path and trying to better themselves, many times women are even placed in masculine energy from simply defending themselves. I mean, women carry a great deal of masculine energy themselves, but then there's women who are literally, working and operating in their natural feminine energy, or at least, attempting to, because some don't even know how. We're all growing and learning. Women out there working like men and shit. That's not inspiring femininity. So with that being said, it's almost diabolical for a man to attack a woman simply because she's spiritual. It's energy that I just can't, I can't tolerate that. But I can understand that the key component is healing, and a lot of people don't want to hear that because the frequency that's tearing the male and female apart is an energy, it is a spirit, and we need to really reflect on what we're doing out here, for real. Like, what for those that still care, the handful, because nowadays, people are kind of embracing different paths, but lifestyles. But for those that are still, you know, um, in support of the Black family and the rebirth, renewing our minds, raising our children, we really need to take this stuff more seriously, because the true component, the true balance is with the male and the female, as far as entering the course and getting that other side that you need to electrify. You know what I mean? Just electrifies. Nothing else to say after that point. To come together, to unify that missing part. So I was just thinking about, I hear people say stuff like, they can't trust spiritualists, or what if this person is working spells? It's just all of this stuff, and that goes back to even the male and female getting tuned in and tapped into their innate abilities, and to take time to slow down. We spend so much time in this world and connected to the material world that we barely get time to reflect for those that are more embedded in the material world. And a lot of times we all are, but when you can look at the subtle things and use keen observation, I mean, a person will show you who they are. Sometimes we can be misled on our own, just wanting to see what we want to see, or sometimes our ego, and a person may be feeding our ego, so we go with it. And that can happen in friendships and, other ships as well. But when we talking about trusting our partner, I talk to the women a lot about body talk, because your body does talk when you in tune, right? It's times when, I'm in tune with my man, and I can hear, and I'm not speaking to any man in particular, just when I'm in a long-term working relationship, and we don't always have to speak. This is what I'm telling the women about the strength energy. I teach on that, the eighth card in the tarot deck, because there's just a connection when you plugged in, and I literally can hear the voice of my man. And it's not him talking, but I could hear the frequency and actually what he's saying. That's how powerful our energies is. That's how deep discernment goes, and intuition. So if you want to know what a person is about, you really got to pay attention. But a true spiritualist, that's where people get it twisted with this witchcraft stuff and spells and everything. But a true spiritualist, a true healer, we're not here to create chaos and destroy the earth, and it's quite the opposite. We're not here to cast spells on our sons and daughters. We're here to bring light to the planet and uplift humanity. And that's why we care about nature, and we give thanks to, not worship, air and water. We pay homage to. And that's the way most indigenous people got down. A lot of us forgot that. And I know they say that faith without works is dead, but works without faith is also dead. And if you rather you want to call it energy or whatever, but I don't discount what a male brings to the world either, because the male physically built this world, but is out of the things of nature and natural things. Both components are needed, And this is where we miss the race at, because a lot of us are endowed, some of us culturally are endowed with special gifts and information that's inside our cells and inside our DNA, and things that we have locked in because we've allowed ourselves to be bamboozled by the indoctrination of the political and traditional aspects of religion. And we're never really growing on an innate level because you got a manuscript and guide to follow, but you're not tapping into new information. Like singing unto the Lord a new song. If you go into any type of a church or any space where you congregate, a mosque, I don't care, a temple, the leader should be able to give you new information if they're in fact tapped into the Most High. So I'm gonna just put that there. But I just don't like the attack upon the woman. It's like, what do you want from us? To be zombies, or not to have a thinking mind, or what type of this is why you're so limited, not only in your passions and experiences, but yeah, in your passions, experiences, and what you could know, because information could also be within the woman. That could be that missing component while you look into other, as they say in Arkansas, look into other. And I won't use that word, but I won't use that word, but to other men, sometimes the woman is the missing component to what you need. And this is why a lot of people be still living at their mama house forever, the men that are like that, the baby boys of the world. Because yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. But I'm not here to bash men, beat up men. It's not about that. But it is about a call for all of us, male and female, to take that observation of what's going on inside, to recharge and activate the soul. That's what a soul jet is. That's why I refer to my listeners and supporters as soul jets also. We the new soul jet healing community. And as we continue to grow and people will come and go, we're here to bring a frequency together and individually upon this planet. We're here for true change, not to talk about it, but to be about it. So I just wanted to read a little something I wrote as well. Spirituality is the missing component in our society, in our communities, and in our unions with our husbands and wives, in our agreements with our spiritual spouses, our interactions even with our children and friends. So that's why it's hard for us to, this isn't just about male and female, this is also about community, our family, and why we can't seem to get on one accord anymore. We miss love. We miss that component. With love is understanding and compassion. You can't have those things. And it's so interesting because, they speak to knowledge as male, wisdom is female, but the super consciousness or the super child, the third component would be understanding. And I would also add to that compassion, because the two can come together, but without an understanding, which comes through application, spiritual application, putting it to work to see if it works. But no matter what we're creating, spiritual or not, you have to have that application to know what works and what doesn't work. So it's a lot of things that seem like they work because they work, functional. But it's so many things that's so cold and dry, and people that live empty lives because that component is missing, because we haven't gotten that understanding. I remember, and I bring this up because it was it was pretty powerful during the metaversary. We were having a discussion about this, topic with males and females, and what could females do to help uplift the male, and giving him the space to be able to deal with his mental health, and maybe express himself in ways without interrupting or interjecting. But then we spoke about these spiritual tools that we have. That's where the knowledge comes in at, where you have the knowledge of all of these things. But then when it's time to put it into work or to activation, Because we haven't applied it, we don't have the wisdom. So we don't even see the other person anymore that we're supposed to love so much. We don't see them. We don't see the pain. We don't see the love that we have. You see the anger, you see rage, you see the competition, the abuse, and is madness. I mean, and many of these people who indulge in abusive behaviors, male or female, I mean, think back when whatever has planted this seed within you, think about your own childhood. That's what I do. There's a lot of things that I've done too. And, when I look at my son, I just think about what I may have went through or even the things I was protected from and how I want my child, to experience life because we do have control over that. We have to learn to be a little less selfish when it comes to being community again, and being family. Um, but I wanted to finish this. Spirituality is truly looking at oneself and having the ability to feel your emotions, to feel the energy around you, to think and be able to process the thoughts, separating the ego to really get an understanding. It's to have this radical trust for the process. It's about spiritual surrender, to be able to look at things from a deeper perspective, to find our place and purpose in the world. It takes divine hearing, love, self awareness, and compassion to understand the cycles. Because there's a lot of cycles, and we look for scapegoats sometime and people to blame. And many times our spouses get blamed, the woman is blamed, But even with all of this hatred and anger, and it's really misplaced anger, and many times it starts with healing, and that's the word and thing that everybody want to run from. But just know the hatred, the warlike mindsets, this was destroying the world that we have. um and people see, because they'll see how karmic effects work. So whether you want to believe it or not believe it, the laws of cause and effect are definitely in motion, as well as other universal laws that you will adhere to, because time time changes everything. The only thing we can count on is for things to change, and it's time for it to change, because we're so pressed and suppressed and oppressed with the lack of love, with hatred and destruction, that we can't breathe. And the earth, unfortunately, for those that are against feminine energy, the earth is female. You're looking at a feminine energy. Of course, it's masculine principles also in the earth, but the earth is referred to as the mother because it gives life, it nurtures, it provides. So it's really time that we start to look at the other side of things, and it don't make you soft or whatever men think less masculine. What it makes you is balanced and holistic. Not that everybody's gonna have the same level of awareness and spirituality, but that's the whole purpose. We can't stay in the spiritual world 24/7. It has to be a balance between the physical and the spiritual, as above, so below. And if you are with another half, that half should be mirroring the other aspect to give you the balance. I'm a spiritualist, so I need a man that's going to be able to ground me, a man that will allow me to be spiritual and to bring forth messages and do the healing work and all of those things. But at the same time, he can provide the protection and the reality of whatever I need to ground me in, and it may not ever be, it may not be a total balance of, well, I don't want to say a total balance, but you may not totally understand, the level, but it has to be a trust there. You may not know the level of what kind of work I do or what kind of work your spiritualists do or the healer in your life, but these energies are supposed to be protected, because if you are blessed with a spiritualist or a healer, then that is a divine gift from God. So you definitely don't want to do anything to desecrate that. So be careful, and I'm not going to take too much more time. I am going to finish this piece. Where was I at? I was speaking of the cycles, because sometimes people feel like they're owed something, like we're not supposed to have any type of hardships and any type of changes on this planet. like you blame people or things or circumstances, but we have to understand certain cycles in life. And some of the cycles that we're stuck in now is because of the abuse of the feminine force, is because the abuse of the planet and of each other. And even women themselves have hardened. So I'm not just speaking to men. There's the male energy in females as well. And sometimes that's turned on their children and turned on spouses as well. There's many violent women, and just as there's violent men, and women that shun spirituality and uphold religion against spirituality and attack women as well. And even taking that component out, even within our friendships where there's jealousy and competition, that's from a lack of love. That's from a lack of understanding and comparing ourselves to each other instead of embracing the beauty and the differences like we did on the playground. When I was a kid, one of my best things or favorite things to do with my friends was to do cheers, was to sing, was to make up dance routines, all that stuff. And that's what brought us together. That fostered community. We played jump rope and we played all kind of shit that brought us together. And we talked and we laughed and really laughed. It wasn't about who's better or anything. You just everybody brought something, and it was very rich. And this is why some of those friendships last beyond the playground. But then a lot of times things and people change when love becomes jealousy and competition. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with healthy competition, but when it becomes malicious and into a point where love can no longer exist there, that's when it becomes problematic. See, spirituality is about not only understanding the cycles and ups and downs of life, but the changing seasons, the ability to withstand a hardship and come through it better, stronger, more informed, a more transformed human, to be able to understand what we had to endure and how our actions that cause and effect again, it impacts our past, present, and future circumstances. Not that this level of introspection can't be found in our experience in religion or philosophical paths or beliefs. But regarding religion, sometimes the message of love get lost in the power in politics. And sometimes in philosophy, it becomes too philosophical, too philosophical. Spirituality looks at many different aspects of human spirit or the humanity in human spirit and the physical aspect of life as well. It bridges the gap of understanding, overstanding, and understanding of how all things are connected. Now, spirituality may play out differently for different people. And no, you don't have to get rid of your religion, but it's to make room for, because religion is the organization of spirituality. So it always has to be controlled. And I get it. We need order, we need law, we need all of these things. When I speak to law, I'm speaking of universal law and, of course, laws of the land, because people run wild with their shadow, right? But it's something, like I said, it's something wrong there, and there needs to be a healing of the feminine energy in males and females. If you can't see the other component, if you can't see the God and goddess, and the goddess and God, it's a balance, and that's what we're really lacking, to the point that you know we're out of order. We have allowed this empire we should be building. We've allowed it to become a space of hate and a battleground in our own homes, right? So, anyway, I wanted to share one more thing with you guys, and I'm gonna get more into other things, these power plays between males and females. Um, but like I said, I want to say this too: the masculine versus the female. When you're dealing with masculine energy, you're dealing with action, logic, leadership, focus, decisiveness, assertiveness, and of course, there's competition there. But with men. Um, when you're dealing with female energy, you're dealing with intuition, creativity, receptivity, compassion, nurturing qualities. And masculine energy is about doing, and a female energy or feminine energy is about being. And that's what we got to understand. We can't just be wrapped up in a passive feminine energy where nothing is happening. And because we gotta embrace the masculine so we can get something done. So we do need both forces, but at the same time we can't just do and just smash over people and forget the feminine energy or the other aspect even in ourselves. Like I said, it's not a balance. This is where you get the depression, and many times we don't realize it because they used to tell me in church that the Holy Spirit is a gentleman, but I may get some backlash for this, but the Holy Spirit is a lady. And in the same context, is God's active force. So okay. But in the same context, with my aunt was telling me when she used to say that, it's just basically saying that consciousness or God's spirit don't force itself upon you. The subtlety and the spirit is there. It's for all of us. It's accessible inside and out. So it's up to us to be able to slow down and be observant and do that inner work and that self-awareness to be able to see it, to be able to benefit from it, from the life force, consciousness, if you want to call it a Holy Spirit or, you know, but it's activated to the soul, and that's what connects all living things. We all have that ashe, as we say in the Ifa tradition. One moment, you guys. I'm sorry. I needed to mute out a second because I was, I'm taking care of something. Okay. So I wanted to share something though, and then I'm gonna end on this piece. I'm reading from a book that I've had a long time. It's called The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life. And it's written by, it has some really deep stuff in it, really, really deep sciences and different things, how valid it is, it's for you to do the science on. The brother, or the man, it's a white guy, his name is Drunvalo Melchizedek, that wrote the book. I'm reading out of volume 2 of 2 volumes. This is chapter 15, and it's called Love and Healing. And I just wanted to share this piece. Love is creation. Love is the source of all creation. It is the consciousness that actually forms and created universes, dimensions, and worlds that we live within. As we look into other worlds with our dualistic minds, we always see everything in threes. As we have said before, we see time as the past, present, and future. We see space as X, Y, and Z axis. We see size in microcosm, the everyday world, and the macrocosm. We will call this trinity of reality. I hope I said that right. Everything in the trinity of reality, they're going to call the three the trinity of reality. From the atomic particles to the grand galaxy is held together by forces that we have given different names to, seeing these forces as separate and unrelated. The atoms are held together by atomic forces that seemingly are different from the forces of gravity that holds the planets to the suns and the suns to other suns. But are they really different? Perhaps only the real difference is the dimensional level that they manifest in. Love is a particular vibration of consciousness that, when it is between humans, it holds people to people in all relationships. Without love, marriage is just a shell that will usually break apart. Sometimes a marriage will stay together only to save the children. But is that not love that holds the marriage together? Love for the children? We may have other reasons to continue a relationship without love, but it is never the same as true love. Love is the bond that is stronger than any other. People will die for it. I believe that everything in the universe is a mirror of consciousness. From what I have seen, all energy is consciousness, no matter what the name of it is. Whether it is called electricity, magnetism, electromagnetic fields, heat, kinetic, atomic forces, gravity, and so on. And from this belief, we can see that according to E equals MC2, energy is related to matter. That's what I was saying earlier about consciousness being energy as well. And to the speed of light squared a number. Therefore, matter is also consciousness, only crystallized. From this view of the world, everything is consciousness. And consciousness is the light that reflects off the matter of the outer world and creates the entire outer world, breath by breath. The inner world of consciousness, the dreams, visions, feelings, emotions, sexual energy, kundalini, and even that of our interpretation of the outer reality are all the source of matter and how this matter is arranged. E equals MC2. And love is the binding agent within the equation. Love is the exact vibration that matter responds to. We have a great power to create, but we have forgotten. But now is the time to remember. Okay? This is why living in the Merkaba needs love to become alive. Without the love, the Merkaba is lifeless and will soon die. The female aspects must be present in love to balance the male, or life will not be. It is love that can change water into wine. It is love that can bring a person back from the dead. I gotta laugh at this part, but I hear him. It is love that can heal yourself and others. I'm gonna say this: it can bring people back from the dead. You ever seen, like, when people start to get older, or when there's a relationship and a man is getting older? Sometimes the man starts to die off when the woman is not youthful, and or she doesn't give him, she doesn't have the ability to anymore give him the love that he needs. You know, a lot of times they need that charge, and that's natural. That's a natural thing. That's why a lot of older men, they may not even be able to get it up, but they still need, sometimes they'll flirt with younger women or deal with younger women on the side, or just another woman with more life, because they're dying. It's like you start to wither. So yeah, love can, and also in a relationship, you can die from the inside out. So love can, and somebody can tell you something, somebody you love can just tell you something, and make you feel totally different when you just felt like death days before, right? If you ever been there. But anyway, I'm reading from his viewpoint, and I did like some of the points he made. Take it as it resonates. And again, you can always do the science on it. But the female aspect must be present in love to balance the male, or life will not be. So we were going into love can change water into wine. And I know he's speaking more of Christ in the story of that, or just that analogy, the story of Jesus. It is love that can bring a person back from the dead. It is love that can heal yourself and others. And this is all true. It is love and love alone that will heal this world. So to speak of healing without love is not speaking with truth. In medicine, only certain things are possible, but with love, all things are possible. With love, the incurable disease is nothing but light, and the atoms of the body can be reformed into perfect health. The absence of love is the source of all disease, for it is love that binds matter into order out of chaos, and without love, chaos will always ensue. Interesting. Healing only takes place when love is present. And excuse me, you guys, for my voice is a little hoarse, and I'm, trying to get my information out. But I just thought that was interesting. I don't know what you guys think of that. I'm not going to read any more of it because I don't want to read this entire book, or, it's a long book actually. But if anybody is interested again, and he spoke to the Merkaba, and I didn't go into that, the energy field located in our forehead, you know, um, but the force field where when love is present, the wider it expands, and it's powerful. Um, But anyway, the book is called The Ancient Secret of Life, or The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life, and this is volume 2. It's pretty deep. But that's pretty much what I wanted to build on tonight, is just the feminine component. Just not forgetting love. I mean, even for those that are into Christianity, I mean, the greatest commandment that John gave was love. And we do know how good it feels to love. Like when we in spaces with our family, when we are in spaces in our communities where everybody's getting along and we got the good music going and love is being exchanged, whether through food or, activities, or just vibing off some good music, whatever it is. But we have to bring that component back. And the way that comes back is through the power of healing and self-awareness, and, really communicating. We got to really, really get to a space of strong communication and not be afraid to communicate. We got to get back to the level of trust. And the only way we're going to really be able to trust, because there's so many scandalous people out here. Listen to me talking about trust and love, and I was just betrayed by a community of people that I thought supported me. But here I am still talking of love. Here I am still talking of light. Here I am still talking about healing and letting love rule and trusting and discernment. Why is that? Why is that? Something to think about. That's where forgiveness come in at, and understanding that, some of us, God has put something inside of us that is to be an example for others. So yeah, sometimes you may see me in a negative manifestation of my emotions because I'm going through all ranges of emotion, and I do it. Sometimes I express myself in all types of ways, especially artistically, so that I know other people go through what I go through, but I don't stay in that energy. I have to come back and show the people that do look to me that, I'm here, but I can, it's an energy. I'm moving through it. I'm healing. I'm being, in balance and dealing with the hard knocks of life and coming back stronger, coming back ready, renewed, and I get that from the ancestors, but that's pretty much all, you guys. I'm blessed to be able to have done this live tonight on, especially with, like I said, my voice is kind of out right now. Um, but also I give thanks that God allowed the space, because it's been a little difficult with, my mom and them, they run a business in their home and stuff. So it's like a lot going on all the time. I have my son here, and he's you probably hear him in the background yelling and stuff, like, you may can hear it in the distance because he's on this game. But that's life, and that's what it is. And I rather had gotten this message out than to not have gotten it out. So I give thanks to those of you who had the heart, mind, and compassion to hear me out, especially when it comes. Because see, one of the things that is taking place that many people may not understand is that the spiritual component is being poured out on the earth already. This is why so many people are embracing spirituality. This is why some things aren't mathing. It's not the same. People out here looking for jobs, looking for this old world that we once lived in and once had and once existed in. And there's a whole new world that is already manifesting. And if you're not on a certain vibration, you're going to stay on that same old station. Remember what I told you guys, the path of the caterpillar is death. The path of the caterpillar is death. You have to go into the cocoon and be reborn a butterfly, because that's what life is at. We wore the caterpillar for many, many years. You see things are changing all over the world. How do you think P. Diddy, Daddy Love, would be in his predicament if with all he had to help humanity, he would have added the component of love? Love without taking, love without being predatorial, love. And I'm not going to just say P. Diddy. I'm going to let him represent all these folks walking around and running around in a shadow without adding the other element. I'm gonna just leave that there. But anyway, you guys, love is the only thing that's real. Everything else is an illusion. And I'm gonna end on that note. Love and light, and you guys have a blessed night. And I will be back with some intuitive messages. Stay tuned. Peace. Show the world who you are. And that's when you're going to see a whole bunch of things shift for you, a whole bunch of things move in your life. You're only stuck because you're trying to be something that you're really not. It's like looking at your reflection in the water in the mirror, and you thought you were a sheep, only to find out you were a lion. Step into your power. It's time. It's time. So let me see what other messages are connected to that. I had to go strong on that because it is very important that we step into our power, because so many people are waiting. The world is waiting. Don't you want to live your full potential? Don't you want to accomplish your goals? Make the money that you will be rewarded with? Look what's on the bottom. crystal clear intentions. Be crystal clear about what you want, manifest it, and move to it. You know, the world is big, and you never know who your soul tribe is. So you must embrace the essence of yourself, okay? Thank you, you guys. And yes, I'm also available for tarot readings, dream analysis, and more 7 days a week. You can inbox me on Denim Design or Souljet Tarot. Serious inquiries only. You can also look at my About section, and there should be an email address there. And you can also reach out to me there. Um, if you are on Denim Design, thank you for tapping in. Make sure you join us on Calligraphy TV so you can interact and build. If you like the content, hit like, subscribe. And again, I can't even talk, you guys. It's Mercury retrograde, but I'll be back soon with another message. Peace. End it.